Hi guys, it's me. I'm back. I'm finally uploading a video on the second channel. This video is going to be something that I didn't think I'd really post about. However, I thought if I would do this, quickly, get straight to the point, kind of just talk about this. I did write a script. It is a screen right here, but it's just the beginning portion of it, and I didn't want to write the rest of it. I kind of wanted to do this free throw through the rest. But we're here to talk about Fortnite. Fortnite Battle Royale, when it came out back in 2018, I remember watching Vanos play it. It was probably one of the weirdest games I've seen, but it didn't really interest me. It seemed hella boring. I won't lie to you, and it still is boring to me. It was just really weird watching someone build a rocket. And at first, I thought it was like a sandbox game, or I guess like Minecraft, to where you kind of have this one world and that you're trying to, I guess, escape from this weird zombie infested thing. I never watched the full video. I still haven't. I still don't even know what mission that is, to be 100% honest with you. But when it first came out, I really didn't care for it. And I'm the same guy who like Call of Duty Zombies. I just didn't find that interesting because number one, it costed money, and I was the person who played a lot of free to play games. Which, if you don't know, there were a lot for the PlayStation. I don't know if any of you guys ever played a game called Blacklight Retribution, but that was one of my favorite games ever. And I kind of do want to revisit that at some point. But I also played games like Warframe and stuff like that. That was back when I used to stream a lot. But I mean a lot. I mean, I would stream like 30 times in one day. But other than that fact, a few months passed and then they finally released a Battle Royale. I've never heard of a Battle Royale since that point. I've actually never played any multiplayer games aside from Blacklight Retribution, which, once again, if you have not played that game, I don't blame you. Once again, it was a free-to-play game. I was the kid who only had games like Infinite Warfare and Minecraft. I never really asked for games. I just went over and I would usually just try to make my own money to buy other games, which you see where I am now. I own like a bunch of games and I still have yet to play any of them, which we're slowly moving to that. And I do have a video on another game that I want to talk about here soon, but we'll get to that point when we get to that point. But when that Battle Royale came out, I once again had not a lot of interest in it. I just didn't care. It was free and everything. And I was like, I just don't want to play this. This just doesn't seem like something I'd enjoy. So then my friend was like, all right, you know what? Install it. I'll play with you. So we played it. And I don't know if you guys ever have seen any of my really old VODs, but I deleted a huge portion of it. However, there is still the Fortnite ones left. I left those ones there because those are some of the funniest VODs you'll ever watch in your life, because that game scared the hell out of me. And I didn't really still enjoy the game. However, I did this thing where I played it until I won. Did I ever win? No. I didn't. I actually went through two full PlayStation accounts before I did ever get my first solo win. I'm pretty sure Chapter 2 was the first time I got a win. And no, I have been playing since Season 3. Season 3. But other than that point, yeah, no, I played Fortnite a lot. I know you guys know, I actually started a series with Fortnite with a bunch of friends. So if I just sit here complimenting Fortnite, saying it kind of boosted my career, started me off into getting to the multiplayer genre, why is the video titled the way it is? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's video. Today I'll be talking about how Fortnite Battle Royale ruined gaming forever. Basically ruined the gaming scene, ruined games for me as a person, and changed me as a person as well. And we're going to start with the biggest, and I mean, was the biggest thing. Actually, we're not going to get into what Fortnite did. We're going to get into what every game thought was hilarious at the time, and that was making their game have a Battle Royale. Yes, Battle Royales ruined gaming forever, because for some reason, people thought it would be profitable to make free-to-play Battle Royale games, and that was the surge. And me, I still don't like Battle Royales. I didn't. Even after Fortnite, I feel like that was enough. I enjoyed playing Fortnite because, especially because I had creative, I liked going in and killing people. Like, that was my thing. I liked going to get kills. I didn't like having to fight for my life to get a win. That wasn't fun to me. But when they added creative mode and stuff like Playground, where I could just run around and murder people without the fear of dying and having to restart from the beginning, that was fun to me. That was just an enjoyable experience. Until Warzone happened. Can I be the only one to say that 2019, once again, isn't that good of a game? I didn't even know Warzone was happening. Nor did I know about, I guess, I played through like the first two seasons. I remember I bought the Battle Pass for Season 2 and just never played the game again. Isn't that hilarious? Like, that is the funniest thing ever. I remember I streamed, bought the Battle Pass, and then got off. That was it. I didn't play it any further because I was more or less hooked on Fortnite than Call of Duty. That is how much I didn't really enjoy that game. I quit Call of Duty to play Fortnite. Mostly because all of my friends played that, and I'm pretty sure 2019 at that point, That was when we got into Warzone, which I didn't know Warzone was even happening until someone asked me if I would like to play. I just happened to own the game. I was like, oh sure, I'll go try that out. I didn't like it, and I still don't like it. I think Warzone is probably one of the worst battle royales in my opinion. I just don't like it. There's just no fun to it, especially because that game allows way too much freedom. Anyway, but anyway, what do you mean by that? I mean, as in people can just build guns that are better than everything else you can pick up off the floor. You see where I'm going with this? As in, it's cool on how you can make a system to where people have to play the game in order to get these really good builds. However, it comes at the cost of what Warzone is now, where you have people buying bundles that literally can boost your game without even having to touch it. You remember the Doom bundle where it basically there was a shotgun in it that could one shot people like at crazy ranges. I'm pretty sure they nerfed it with Dragon Breath, like kind of what they did in Cold War, but it's still broken because it's good without Dragon Breath in it. That's the funniest part. It's weird. I don't know why, but that Infinity Ward just doesn't understand how to create a video game at all. But that's not the main point here. But it released a lot of things like pay to win bundles, which we'll get to here in a second because that will go on to other things that I do want to say ruin video games forever. Well, not a lot of them actually, as a matter of fact, because there is one battle royale that I think that is done really well and doesn't cater to the needs of these other games, but can implement these certain things that wouldn't ruin the balance of everything else. But Warzone is the biggest example on how you can fuck up a battle royale. There was things like Rebirth, which Rebirth is fun, and I do enjoy the concept of that. However, it's annoying when you constantly have to spawn in with dog shit loot, and everyone has their guns with meta builds on them, where your gun doesn't move, does more damage than the ground loot, and then you have guns with no attachments. That's where the balance of the game is ruined. However, at the near the end life cycle of Rebirth and stuff like that, they started releasing a game mode where they literally give you meta builds off the floor, which is the best way to balance the game out. And the only reason I have beef with Warzone is because that's not a thing anymore. You can't just start with the best gun in order to compete with somebody. You got to start with dog shit in order to like face off against these people. And the chance of you winning is minimal. And I mean very minimal, especially in the state where you can't move anywhere. Your soul is a brick. The movement's ass. I want to say the movement's ass. A lot of the movement in the game isn't terrible. It works, but there's not a lot of moments where it's like old Warzone to where if I'm being shot at, I can easily evade bullets. And that is the thing. I might actually do a retrospective on Modern Warfare 2 and talk about how there are weird things. I do kind of want to talk about the whole there's a slide cancel thing going on right now, and I do want to talk about animation canceling and stuff like that, how it is actually useful to people, but not in this video. That is not the video for this. I'm just keeping that in mind that this will be probably posted on this exact channel. But yeah, that was the main thing for me, and I think Warzone definitely picked the shittier end of the stick with how they were balancing out the game, especially since they wanted to implement it so late into the game, and then in the next game remove that. I feel like if you're gonna have a game mode to where picking up your loadout with the guns that are actually good with attachment that you want, you should balance it out by making sure the ground loot is catered to the best builds in the game. So where if I'm landing in on somebody with the gun that's actually good because they built it themselves, I have a fighting chance, especially if I spawn in with, 2 plates? And that's about it. And then it mostly at the time, like, it's just a balance thing. That's all I think it is. It's a balance thing. It's where every gun kills faster than the guns with no attachments and the guns that aren't as good because they like starting off with dog shit. That is where I think Warzone messed up on that. But there's a game mode. There is a game, and I think actually 2 games can profit off of this. Both PUBG and Apex, which I will get back to those games here in a second, but I kind of wanted to just go through that and say that Warzone is the worst battle royale. And it is the biggest example when people talk about how Fortnite ruined a game. I won't even say Fortnite ruined that game. I would say that the greed for money and people to buy their newer games because in order to compete with other people, you have to have the guns leveled up and have to have the attachment that other people have. That's where they went wrong. But let's move on here, and I want to talk about the worst thing in the game and the main reason why Call of Duty is losing: cosmetics. Cosmetics ruin video games. Not in Fortnite, because Fortnite, everything they release, they even state, it is not for competitive advantage. No, it is so that you look cool. It is a third-person game, so you can see what you're wearing. You can see the emotes and shit that you're doing. In Warzone, you really can't. You cannot. I still buy skins because I think they're cool, and I mean bunny skins. That's the most thing I bought in the game. I mean, I just think they look cool. But then you come to the fact of there are actually pay to win bundles that have released in Modern Warfare 2. It's very real and true, as well as in Modern Warfare like 2019 and Warzone and stuff like that. They dead ass for release bundles, and this wasn't a thing. I want to say they had supply drops at one point, which sure were okay when cosmetic wise and new weapon wise because all the guns are good in the game. That's fine. When you release a gun that's different and you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. It's not going to be going to buy one, but I know it's there and it exists and that it's a possibility. I like the change where you can now unlock the weapon through an actual challenge instead of having to buy it. But then the people who will, when the new season comes out, can buy tiers up to the gun or buy the gun out of the shop. And you know what they started doing with the shop items? Making them good. So you know what people are going to go do? Instead of actually playing your game, they'll go and buy the little bundle with the gun in it, with the meta build on it. And then instead of having a fighting chance because you're still leveling up the gun, everyone is just better than you. That is where you ruin cosmetically because no bundle should ever be pay to win. Never. Every bundle should be for a cosmetic effect and should never make you better than anybody else. So when you release these bundles, make it to where the bundle for the new gun, or even if you want to put it in the tier, sure, that's fine. Put it in the battle pass tier. That's cool and all, but you should make it to where if you're going to release a meta build for it, put it 3 weeks out so then everyone at least has unlocked the gun. And the people that are new to the game that just installed it because they saw a cool skin or something can have the same advantage as other people. That's where you do pay to win right. Because it's when new people get the game, they can buy the meta build, and by that time, everyone who has owned the game already has it. Am I crazy for thinking that? But back to where I was talking about how a game does it right. Apex, Fortnite, PUBG, with the gun stuff, and PUBG, you can only get skins. I don't think you can get weapon skins. I tried playing the game earlier, and I could not like get into a match. It was hilarious, but with what PUBG does is that instead of making it to where you can drop on a loadout or something, you had to pick up a gun and pick up the attachments up off the floor and build it yourself. Same thing with Apex. And that's where I think the games do that well. That is where I think the balance comes in because you can use the same gun as somebody else, but your gun can have different attachments, but it doesn't change the way your gun works. Necessarily. I guess you could have some things that reduce your recoil or slightly up your damage depending on like, you know, how you have like the skull splitter mod and stuff like that to where your gun can be altered. However, it isn't based on how like say like you have a purple scar versus a golden scar. I guess it's essentially the same thing because you could win gunfights with a blue AR and versus a scar. You can win that based on just purely gun skill. But in Apex, you can customize the gun the way you want, but it's not like you can start with that. You have to work your way through the match and find these things off of people you kill or people that you, I guess, buildings that you find by looting and stuff like that, or buying it through the, the scrap system and stuff like that. It's where you add uniqueness to the game and where your bundles aren't the main selling point. But you can go, oh, look at this cool skin. You can buy the skin, however, it's not necessary to compete against other people. It just makes you look cool. And you can also earn the currency. It's crazy that you can earn the in-game currency as well. I feel like that's something that really should be done with any game. You shouldn't have to force players to be able to go over and buy the in-game currency. You should let people play the game and earn the currency. That's dope as well. So you might be wondering what I'm talking about the cosmetic thing. I'm talking about that none of the cosmetics give you a competitive advantage. You can unlock them through just playing the game. And the gun system isn't to where if I either bought a bundle or have been playing longer than you, I automatically have the advantage. The only advantage you would have is I know how the game mechanics work. I can kill you easier than you can kill me. But even if you're a beginner player, if you know how a FPS game works, you can still compete. That's where the bundles thing for both Warzone and the other game differ. But I guess you could still make the argument of I can kill someone with ground if I have gun skill. But let's say one barrel makes a difference between another barrel. I could be completely wrong. Let me know in the comments if I am horribly wrong and that I am a terrible person and that everything that is coming out of my mouth is wrong. Let me know in the comments. I want to make this video as I guess, in my opinion, and objective as possible. But I'd like to hear thoughts from other people on these takes that I am making. I don't want to just spew this out and then have no engaging conversation with people. I want people to tell me that I'm wrong. And then I can dispute this in either a second video or I can reply with a comment. You could call me wrong. That's fine. But don't go down in the comments and say that I'm wrong and not have a good counter argument to what the hell I have to say, because that's just stupid and doesn't work. Come down in the comments, say, hey man, I know she said such and such, but I disagree, and then give me a reason why you disagree. Don't be a dick about it. All right? Cool. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is, what was I going to talk about? Oh, Roblox. I want to talk about Roblox. Not even like how the gaming industry ruined this. I want to talk about how Fortnite is ruining itself as well. I was going to talk about how it affected me. We'll get there in a second, but I want to talk about the state of Fortnite right now. Actually, we can do this 2-in-1 right now. You ready to watch this? Fortnite sucks because now it is basing itself off of Roblox, and that is just a horrible, horrendous thing to do. Number one, they changed the HUD to make it look like a mobile game, and we all noticed that. I pointed it out, my friend pointed it out, some people said it looks cool, I say it looks like I'm playing a mobile game, hence why Call of Duty did the same shit this year, and they're still doing it. But the main point I'm trying to pull from here is that what the hell are we doing? Why are we outsourcing the game to the other players? Am I just weird for thinking that? I could go on the rant and just title this Roblox Ruined Gaming, but Fortnite technically is now ruining themselves by making it based off of other people's work. And that's weird. That's kind of crazy, especially if your game is based off of you making these LTMs, game modes, and updates. And it's just weird, man. I'm gonna take a step back here, and I'm gonna go and I want to talk about the furries and Fortnite stuff, and I kind of want to talk about that for a little bit because I feel like this is somewhat relevant to me at the same time. Back a long time ago, I don't know if you guys remember this. I don't even know if people from this channel know what happened on the first channel, but I used to run a series called Furries and Fortnite. Some people might not know about it because it is a very old thing that I stopped doing a long time ago, mostly because I fell in love with the game. But me and 3 other friends used to just get on. Actually, it was a couple of friends. We used to get on Fortnite pretty much every day. We'd play the game a bunch. We'd run a bunch of solos. It would just be a bunch of funny moments. And if you have not seen that series yet, I'd recommend you go watch it. It is hilarious. That series is probably the most fun I've had in the game, and probably the most fun series I've made back in the older days. That was probably the first ever series I started truly editing and getting my shit together with all of that. The editing looks bad, but compared to today where I edit now, this looks better, and I am actually proud of the progression of that. But there was a lot of drama stuff that happened between that. It was stupid. But the main reason that that I don't like the game anymore is because the lack of effort from the developers. Is that crazy to think about? And I feel like that's the case with pretty much every studio now at this point, at least from Call of Duty and Fortnite, but they're for 2 different reasons. And it's weird. If you guys remember back last season, there was this weird laser rifle bullshit that was really good, and they just refused to nerf it. Or was that? I think that was the season before, because now I think we have the drum. A season before was the drum shotgun that was really good, and I'm pretty sure that got nerfed to the dirt. I don't know. I couldn't really tell because I remember when I got all 3 of the mythics, I pretty much just won the game in an instant. And now this season, I don't even know. There's 30 mythics running rampant in the game, and I don't think any of them are that good necessarily. But it's just a lack of balance for the game because they're pretty much making the game based off of other people's work. If I'm not mistaken, they're starting to pay people to create maps on the game, which I don't mind that. I don't mind seeing people do this stuff. That is the reason I love the game. It's because I go on and I'm like, oh, look at this interesting map I can play. Yesterday, I played a bunch of gun game, which was annoying as hell because everyone kept targeting me. But I had a nasty-ass clip on that map. There's cool shit like streaks, nukes. There's gun switching every time I get a kill. The map has weird dynamics. It's fun. But it's when that is the only type of updates I get in the games from other people making maps instead of the developers going, let's make a new LTM. Let's change the map suddenly drastically. You know what they're doing? They're going back to Season 5. Do y'all notice how like the progression of the maps has just gotten worse and worse? Actually, I think between chapter 1 and 2, those two are the best maps in the game, in my opinion. I think chapter 3 is okay. There were a lot of buildings. I just don't like building. Buildings scare the hell out of me. And then this chapter was just dog ass. Frenzy Fields is the only good POI in the game, and if you say otherwise, die. But like, it's as if they couldn't think of anything else this season because all the maps are dog shit that they said, let's just go back to everyone. That's what everyone wants. And it's the easiest thing to do. You want to know why? Because they've done it before. Like, isn't that just crazy on how you can make the game good again by doing something you've done before? Actually, that should be a self-reflection on Call of Duty. Hey, Infinity Ward, if you made a good game like 3 years ago, why don't you take the things that are good, redo that, and then take the bad stuff out of the game? I feel like that's just kind of the thing we miscommunicate with video games right now, is that there's stuff that you can do that's good, and people notice that, but instead of making that change, you decide that I'm going to leave that terrible change in the game, and that good change I made, I'm going to completely throw it out the window, overcomplicated, and now it's dog shit. What was this video about again? I feel like it's just a rant on gaming in general. I feel like that's just a really weird thing that this video has turned into, but I'm still gonna tell it with the same. I don't care because it still has to do with Fortnite ruining gaming. From the battle royales to the battle pass to the lack of creativity to the bundles just being the most important thing aside from their video game. That's where the line is kind of just crossed. It's when you start releasing bundles in the game instead of actually developing your game any further and not listening to community feedback and all of this. That's where we start to fall out of love with video games. That's where I replayed The Evil Within 2 because it is such an amazing game. That's all I did this week. I played through the old Saw game on stream. I played Call of Duty for a little bit. I played The Binding of Isaac because the mods in the game are amazing and people develop really cool stuff. But I feel like us gamers know video games more than the developers, and that's probably what Fortnite is doing. They think that they have fell out of touch with the game and are letting other people work on the game instead. And sure, that's okay. That's fine. But that doesn't mean you get lazy and stop developing your game. Especially in the case of Call of Duty, where we don't have that situation. We have the situation of the developers are the only people that can fix the game, and us people will spew out stuff like, hey, this is broken, hey, this needs to be nerfed, hey, this needs to be worked on, and then no one is listening. And that's where the issue with gaming is. And you might be wondering, from the beginning, how did Fortnite ruin all of this? And it is because people think that because you can release a bundle that looks cool, you can bait us off of nostalgia and stuff like that, that all of a sudden, oh, we can all do that. We can all just go bait everyone off of nostalgia and stuff like this. We could just make our games terrible, but if we have something from an older video game in here, all of a sudden everything is fine. And the cosmetics are cool, I guess. If we make a cool cosmetic, maybe people will come back. That's just the main point of the game. Think about it. Just logically think about it. The only reason my friend wanted to buy Modern Warfare 2 is because Spawn was in the Battle Pass. That is the only thing I've heard people talk about once that Battle Pass came out. I didn't even know he was that popular because of how little people talk about him. And then in Fortnite, people are coming back because Michael Myers is in the game now and Jack Skellington. But when Jack Skellington came out, and someone told me the shop was ass. And then I was like, yo, but Jack Skellington's in the shop. I'm like, I don't care. He looks goofy as shit. If the cosmetic is bad, people start to notice stuff. That's where people start to go wrong. If they can't even like make the game good, make the game look good, then what do you have left? Can you believe that I wrote a small part of that, like the very beginning of the video? That was the only part of the script, and the rest of this was just me freeballing it. And this video will still get like 2 views. I mean, still, I don't really care that much for the viewage on this. I kind of just want to have an engaging conversation with Fortnite players, Apex players, and stuff like that. Because I haven't played Apex, I haven't played a lot of PUBG, but I do play Call of Duty and Fortnite. Do I do it a lot? No. I hate Warzone with every fiber of my being, and I feel like everyone can feel that. Everyone can feel these games slowly starting to drain is because there's just nothing interesting going on with the game anymore. The developers that fell out of love for the game, or they just, oh, I mean, I could just say they're both the same thing. They don't care anymore, and that's the worst part. That's like the worst thing you can do to somebody that loves your game. Stop caring. and you just put bullshit in the game versus fixing things and adding fun mechanics. It's like I remember back when they added the mammoth pistol and the explosive lever into the game. That was the most fun I've had. And it's because it's goofy as hell. No one would really run a thing like that because in all practicality, it's not good. But it's still fun to use. It's stupid as shit. It's fun. And that's where I take joy from video games when they add stupid shit and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna run around with this like a maniac. It's when you start to get like boring and you're more or less worried about releasing stupid ass skins versus catering to the people that play the game instead of do Fortnite fashion shows and shit. I'm calling the video here. If you like today's video, leave a like, subscribe, go check out my first channel. I'm gonna try and promote this on there, I guess, because this is a video that I thought of on the spot. I was sitting down, I finished Evil Within, I was like, I'm just gonna talk about Fortnite. And that's what I did. That is exactly what I did. This video took a turn in the way that I didn't think it would go, but I hope you all still enjoyed. I'm sorry I haven't really been uploading on here a lot. This channel will probably be like when I upload like once or twice a month because the videos on here will take time. I'll have to actually write out scripts for the things I want to do. I want to do game reviews. I want to just talk about BS on this channel. And that will require things like research and actual time and multiple takes. This is the first take I did of this. And I can say right now, this is kind of how I want it to be. But I think I want to have more structure next time. The next time I want to do like a game review, I probably am going to toss up gameplay. And I am probably going to be sitting down because my legs hurt. And I do work at places like gas stations and stuff where I do stand all the time. But you have to realize my legs, I feel like an old man. I'm old as hell. Actually, not old as hell. I'm not old yet. Necros is old. He's old as hell. Make sure the next podcast episode you go leave in the comments. Necros is old. And yeah, I'll give it a little heart, even though I heart all of my comments. I will acknowledge you. You are amazing if you do watch this video. Thank you all for 250 on the main channel. By the way, I meant to say that in like 3 other videos, and I have not posted those videos yet, but I will say it here. Thank you all for 250. After this, I will probably be live on Twitch. Go check me out, twitch.tv/fuzz169, and I'm out of here. Peace.